Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Friend or Foe Esports Week 4, Day 2 of our Mythic League. And kicking off game number 1 tonight on the blue team, we rightfully have Blue Bayou Zoo. And on the red team, we have Rex Regalis. It's been a long time since I've seen you guys here, but as always, walking you through this game tonight, my name is Whirler, and casting alongside me tonight, we have the fan favorite, Raptor. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to watch these matches. Especially this one right here. You know, these are two teams that a lot of people had as like big favorites for the top 4 at the start of the season, and they've been off to a rough start so far.
1 and 2 apiece so far, and I'm also noticing this is my first time seeing you guys in a while. I see some role swaps. You want to talk about these real quick? How has Joshi been doing in the mid lane?
I feel like Joshi's been doing good. I think he's had an okay start to the season. I think his top lane is still his stronger position overall. Okay. But, you know, I think mid allows him to utilize his strongest aspect, which is his like shot calling and his macro knowledge of the game more effectively, because he can roam easier. He can go influence the side lanes, and I think he's trying his best with the characters they're running, or the champions they've been running, to do that. But we'll have to see if he's going to pick something like that this time around, as we do see the Victor locked in to start this out.
Absolutely. Victor has been a pretty prominent pick recently. Very safe, easy wave clear, easy access to good items, good stats. Really, really much, or a late game dominant mid laner, if I do say so myself. I like seeing Victor back in the meta. And going on to a couple more lane swaps, I do want to see, or role swaps rather, I do want to see War Leader. How is he doing in the support role? Especially with Escape.
He's doing. He's doing. Well, they've had, I mean, obviously you see from the Route 1-2, they haven't been winning. But I would say Escape and War Leader haven't been a problem. I think they've both performed very admirably in this so far. They held their own against a diamond bottom lane, so I would say that's pretty good. I see, ooh, a Draven coming out for Alk battery. Spicy, I like this.
Spicy. I do like this so far. It's a good way to kick off the bot lane picks as well. Draven, lane dominant carry, easily countered, but if pulled off correctly, can be a dominant pick in this game, especially alongside a big frontline like Swain. I really have enjoyed the rework of Swain ever since they did it months ago, and he's been a pretty decent pick, I would say, overall. Caitlyn being matched with it, that's a decent pick against it. Got the range, got the utility to play around this dominant champion. I do like Caitlyn back in the meta, although this lane will play out to be a lot slower than usual. Not gonna be too much in the long run. What do you think?
I think it will be interesting to see them go. Caitlyn, you know, she's risen up the rankings recently. She has about a 50% win rate, a little over it right now in solo queue. Partnering with the Vi, I though think is very, best. You got the Piltover's finest duo coming together, the good cop, the bad cop, all the lockdown. You lock him with the Vi ult, and you drop some traps under them, and just with the Caitlyn, and it's all just easy lockdown. But you got to get through this orange first from Beora, and I think that's going to be quite difficult so far with the comp I'm seeing out of BBZ, though it will be helped. Vi does have armor pen on her W.
That is true. Vi will be quite actually are not the most, but I think Vi this game will be essential for getting through Rex Regalis' front line, especially with the Swain and Ornn. That's a thick front line to get through. One of, I would say, this meta's hardest, being how tanky Ornn is naturally.
Yeah, and both these teams have gone for opposite directions for their third picks, jungle and top. So I would expect we're going to see a lot of bans kind of thrown that direction. We're seeing the Lux ban come out. It seems kind of strange. We already have seen the Victor. And I don't think of War Leader as a Lux player. I don't think of him as someone who's just picking Lux in the support role. So that seems like a strange ban. It's the Pike coming out for BBZ. That's a good option. The Morgana too. I guess they just don't want War Leader on Enchanters. Yeah, things that kind of pair well with the Caitlyn. Yeah, but I feel like there's other good combos that go well with Caitlyn. Like you can do
100% is.
Yeah, like Caitlyn Leona is still a pretty viable option. She's still available. I think both these AD carries are going to be looking to grab possibly her, maybe even the maybe even something like Taric. Those are both strong right now. Rel, I know, has been going up in priority recently.
TF.
Yeah,
taking Twisted Fate off the table. So do they think is Swain still support in this meta, or do they think
no? So right now Swain is strongest in the top in mid lane. He's like top 5 mid laners right now by win rate. He has one of the highest win rates. He's at 53% right now. Overall, according to Lowalytics, as we all use here. So it just seems weird that they would take it. I guess they think it's a bluff and Beor is going to go top with it. Or maybe support, or Smack's going to support Side because they got the Ornn. Nocturne coming out for Rafa. That's a good pick. Good for this comp. Good engage.
Let's see if they lock in this Braum pick, but I'm actually quite surprised that nobody this game banned Lulu with Draven on the table. That would be such a really good pick with Caitlyn to shut down the Draven. Yeah, you don't really need the attack speed DPS, but Caitlyn still eats those, especially with attack speed.
Yeah, I think they're worried that if they got rid of the Lulu, that there's more options to pick. You could take Renata for attack speed. Now you just have a Draven that can't die, which is also terrifying. Or you can grab Zillion and Janna. Those are the 3 top priority supports right now. The 3 with the highest rate overall. And I think all of those pair better with Draven. Lulu pairs really well with Draven too, but I think right now all 3 of those might be more useful, especially with the disengage.
I was more saying against the Draven because the utility against the Draven is great. I'm saying that the attack speed isn't like you're not doing Twitch Lulu with Caitlyn, but you're still gonna like the attack speed that she gives you, and it's going to be like, oh, Zyra. This is an interesting bot lane. I don't know how I feel about this at all, but the Zyra pick is going to finalize the draft between these 2 teams. What are your final thoughts on these comps?
So I agree with what you were saying about the Lulu. And I actually think I like Rex's comp significantly more than BBZ's. And my reason for that is that I feel that Rex kind of drafted a very strong team fight composition. It's designed well. And BBZ was heading in that direction. But I don't think the Jace was a good pick. I think Jace, he might bully the Ornn a bit in lane. But Jace kind of sucks in a team fight. He's there to poke early on. And if he doesn't get the chance to just poke out Rex early, if Ornn's blocking him or Nocturne finds that engage, it's not very effective in dealing with this. And I think that the Rex bot lane also is looking better. Zyra is very good into Braum. Well, Braum can block abilities. His cooldown is significantly longer for that shield than any of Zyra's, like Grasping Vines or any of that. So I don't know. I think it's better for Rex. I also think they have more disengage and more CC that's reliable to hit, or a little bit more reliable. So I don't know. I give the favor to Rex in this. I think BBZ drafted kind of a strange composition. Feels like they just went, let's draft Arcane. Oh, we don't have an Arcane support. Let's just take Braum.
I feel like you are 100% right. Rex Regalis' team is definitely more defined, and especially in this meta with this objective focused meta, team fighting is going to be extremely important, and the comp that Rex Regalis has is fully equipped to take out Blue Bayuzu in this game. But before we even think about that, let's get in the game and see how this goes. Alrighty. We are into game number 1 of the night. Blue Bayou Zoo and Rex Regalis loading onto the Rift for FOF's beautiful Mythic League. 1 and 2. Let's see if someone can even up their score and someone send the other 1 and 3. What do you think this? What are your focuses on this game?
So if I'm looking more at the bottom side, so this is a bottom heavy meta. Like if anyone has seen anything from Mythic, from competitive play, from even their solo queue, this meta is all about the bot lane. So it's all about getting these big scaling late game carries online. And for that, I think I'm going to expect a lot of ganks, especially early on. I think Dax is going to have very early priority on it. He has much better early gank potential with the Q and being able to shred a bit of the almost non-existent armor that the Zyra and the Draven have. Nocturne, you know, he's got to finish a couple clears to make it really have effective ganks. Really needs that level 6 ultimate to set up plays, but might still try to go for flanks. So I would also keep an eye on the bottom half vision. I would expect to see a lot of wards coming out, especially from the side of BBZ. You don't want this Nocturne getting ahead. If Rafa goes off on this Nocturne, it's going to be nearly impossible to play the game. Yeah. So got to keep the vision up. Both sides actually really need to keep their vision up, need to have priority. Wards around the tri-bush, around deep in the river. Just keep track of the enemy junglers. Then keep track of their opponent's junglers. Mm-hmm. That's going to really, I think, be the deciding factor. And the rest of the lanes is just about finding... For BBZ, it's about getting early leads, at least on the top side. I think the Jace needs to be really aggressive and find early leads in order to be effective. Because if he doesn't get an early lead or stomp on this Ornn, he's basically going to just be on split push duty all game. Ornn's going to become way too tanky for him to deal with. And in mid lane, like, these two are just going to farm. This is just a late game farming. These are late game assurances if the AD carries die. You have the Swain, you have Victor.
This mid lane is the epitome of a wet lane noodle fight.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought that was top lane. So far, this game has been a pretty passive start. Only one aggressive ward at the beginning on the red side is going to sort of, level 2 on the bot side, escape, getting a good Q on Alk Battery. Alk Battery forced to drop an axe that's going to set him behind a little bit on the Draven stacks. Still at 22, though, so we're getting up here. Mezuzah getting a ward on Rafa, checking out the chickens, isn't going to be able to take any. And we're just going to reset right back on into lane. So far, CS is looking pretty even across the board. Nocturne is a camp ahead of Vi, so that is something to know.
Yeah, and you can hear me, audience, because I know it's gonna be a boring mid lane. It's not an exciting action. It's not a Zed versus like Katarina or something like that. It's farm. This is a farm lane. That's all they're gonna be doing. But hey,
it's funny
that means
Zed and Katarina lanes are the farm lanes.
Zed and Katarina lanes are farming each other, but I think that just means we're going to see more action elsewhere on the map, which is good. You know, it's fun, and that'll be a nice breather to go check up on them. You see top lane, Geico getting pressure. I think they're looking...
I would say the action's going to come after 6 this game, especially looking at the junglers that we have. Both of those are just going to sit until they get level 6, pick a lane.
Nocturne special is deciding otherwise.
I mean... This is very true. Vi does have early pressure. Nocturne more so with the level 6 thing than Vi. But here we go. Level 3 Flash Q could be it. Dax is not going to choose to go for it. BBZ escape is a little low. Choosing to escape is going to get out, pop a potion, and we're going to reset back to where we were.
There's just that worry. Again, Vi is can engage early on. Like, Caitlyn escape making a little too obvious right there, taking way too much damage. They knew, hey, you know, we can probably kill this Zyra or maybe the Draven. Draven was pretty far back, but if we take this fight and Draven gets a kill, it doesn't matter what we do. He's just gonna get those stacks, those 30 stacks he's got right now. Or I gotta see how many stacks this Draven has, but might have to wait on that. Rafa is coming around looking for escape.
Rafa gonna make it have a turn at ganking the bottom lane. Isn't going to spot out Dax. Dax is gonna make it back. BBZ escape is going to get ganked. Flash forward auto attack is going to take him out. That is going to be first blood going to Rafa, taking an early kill for this game, taking it for free too. That was very well played.
I like the gank, knowing, hey, you know, Dax didn't really succeed with his gank. This is escape staying around. They're not gonna come. Like, Dax is probably gonna go back, or he's gonna go back to farming. He's not gonna be here. Made the right call. Joshi almost dying in the mid lane, but Good play from now. This is the scary part. This is when the Nocturne starts getting a couple items on him. He can keep it snowballing. This could become very problematic. Oh no, Joshi.
He's greedy. He's greeding for it. The faster this Nocturne gets 6, the better. Flash E is going to be enough. Mizusa is going to scoop Joshi up for his greed. Very well played by Mizusa. Oh, the impatience just feels so bad. Joshi's just going to TP back to lane as soon as he respawns and get back out there, though. Not too bad. Not too shabby for Mizusa, though. Is going to pick up a full hook. He's going to get the lost chapter. He is not going to TP back to lane either. He might take the save. Oh, he's going to TP. Okay. Not going to save the TP. Both mid lanes are TP-less. Junglers, Nocturne to level ahead. BBZ escape getting rooted up. Smacks is 1v1ing the AD carry and winning. BBZ escape just came back to lane with 2 swords and no pots and really regretting that decision.
Yeah, and that's the hard part about dealing with the Zyra. You can only block the plants so often. As Joshi is roaming up to the top side, Rafa looking for something. He's not 6 yet, so he can't ult in onto Geico.
Not quite halfway there. Might get it off the crab if he's able to do it, but is going to stick around Beora.
Yeah, I think he's going to... If he gets this crab, it should be 6, which might be the call to go after something. He was spotted top, though, clearing that ward, so that's the call for BBZ. Go take this Ocean Dragon. Good start stacking those up. We know it's not going to be Ocean Soul this game, but any soul, I think, would be good for this squad. Mountain, I think, would be very nice, especially to help with all the heavy engage and the Draven damage.
That's true. That is 100% true, and they are going to scoop it up. And the next one's going to be Cloud, meaning that their souls this game are either going to be Hextech, Infernal, or Mountain. I honestly forgot about Hextech. And did they re-release Chemtech yet, or is that next season?
That's preseason. They're going to bring that back in the preseason.
We got a lot.
On the lookout for that, folks, in a couple of months. But right now, at least, I'm hoping it's Hextech. I think Hextech is the most playmaking of the dragons, and the reason for that is, you know, the gates. They're just so great at maneuvering around the map and getting your team like back into the fight if they've died. It's just, I love seeing it. I love seeing teams get creative with it, with their flanks, with how they're getting to these fights. So I hope it's that one. I do hope, but any of the junglers would be fun. Rafa now 6, looking for it. I think
is 6 at the same time as Dax, though. Dax is backing, so he's not going to be on the bottom side if Rafa chooses to gank this. BBZ escape needs to understand this and needs to start backing off. Smacks is going to go for the flash, land the root on Braum, ulti onto Caitlyn. Caitlyn's going to have to flash over the wall. Braum's going to have to flash away. They're both going to get out alive, which is actually shocking to me. BBZ is able to live that. Very well played on them, able to get out alive. Dax doesn't have to feel bad about that now. Mizusa back to the mid lane, and we're resetting off of that. No deaths, but a 40 CS deficit is a bit of an ouchie for Escape.
Yeah, a little bit of pain. No flash, no ghost, no exhaust. Oh, the top lane, Beora.
A little bit of scuffing going around on each other. Nothing but bruises and scratches, though, in this top lane so far, as Geico and Beora pushing each other in, even in CS. Items, on the other hand, Beora is splitting up the item build a little bit. Not shabby. Actually, yeah, no. Is splitting it up. Sorry, it's been a while and I forgot Warden's Mail is Randuin's and Bomby Cinder. We're building a garage sale in this top lane, but what else do you expect from Warren? Dax in the top lane has 6. I wouldn't really say that Warren is the prime target for Assault and Battery, but it could be. It would work, and it's 300 gold in Geico's pocket if they get it. Not gonna opt to take it. Is gonna use the crab. That's coming up in about 10 seconds. While we're waiting on that, with Cloud Dragon coming up in about 2 minutes, supports should be getting out there with their wards. It's a matter of fact that War Leader hasn't completed his item yet.
Yeah, he's pretty down. He keeps getting poked out of lane by this Zyra. Ooh, a fight might break out up here on the top side. Rafa is here. Dam and Dax kind of spot each other, or at least Dax spots him, so Dax is going to back off. They're called off the play. They know this is not worth taking it and giving over a lead there. And these, you know, these teams still pretty even, only about 1,000 gold difference, 1,000 gold up for the side of
Rex Regala.
Yeah, Rex. Why am I don't know why I spaced on the name. I almost said YOLO, and I was like, wait a minute, this isn't YOLO.
Wrong team.
Wrong team, wrong team.
Most of that gold lead is made up by the bot lane. With a Sheen on the Draven, we got some damage on Alk Battery's axes, and I'm kind of scared to see if any play is made in this bot lane, because Draven is just going to control the show.
Yeah, and he's up almost 40 CS on his opponent, plus the gold from the stacks. Draven at 221 stacks. If he cashes this out anytime soon, it's going to be a fun one. Caitlyn's going to have a very painful time. And that's the thing here. Like, Braum, you think of him as this counter range matchup, but he's more of a counter engage matchup. People that can keep poking at him, can keep just hitting him beyond the shield, don't have as long of cooldowns, make for very, very good, hard matchups for him.
And it looks like they're going to be setting up for a dive. They're pushing up the wave, and Rafa has the button ready to use on their engage, but Dax is waiting in the wings off of vision, in Mezuzah as well, so they're ready for this. But I think because of Mezuzah's roam, Rafa was able to read into it. They're calling it off for now. Dragon's up in under a minute, so both teams got to get setting up on that. Looks like the wards are going everywhere for that so far. And in this case, Dax is actually staying in the bot lane and might actually make a play on them. Is going to show himself and is going to recall, so never mind.
Yeah, I think he's just hoping that they just kind of back off the aggression. Oh, Beora on the top side, just getting a kill there. Oh, what happened there?
One going down on each other. We are having fun here, ladies and gentlemen. This top lane has gone well so far. Only one death in the top lane, which is actually far less than we've seen in Heroic. So this is a little bit of a difference. That being said, Geico now has a completed Eclipse, so he's got a lot of damage under his belt, and he has TP on or off cooldown. 14 minutes is up in 2 minutes. So Geico has a chance. Never mind, he's going to use it. Cool. Never mind. No TP play. No Eclipse play. No nothing. We're farming in this top lane. We're late game.
Yeah, he's got to keep farming. Like we said earlier, Jace is not a very good team fight champion. So teleporting down here when you're already down is just going to make you fall further and further behind, especially if Ornn decides to come. He's going to teleport up there too. They're going to trade across the map. It is going to be the Infernal Soul this game. Ooh. So that'll be fun, explosive fights. I expect a lot of fights around every one of those.
Now you really don't want Draven to cash out. Because if he does, it's just not going to be well for BBZ. It's really not. Rafa is ready to dive the bot lane again. Has the R button at the ready. Pretty sure that they're aware of this. They should be, at least. Rafa is going to start it. Escape is going to be able to recall. No shield on War Leader, but they're not going to pull the trigger. They're going to let him walk away, and they're just going to get some more tower damage. They might be able to take this pretty soon.
Yeah, no reason to really force a play out there. Just let him back. War Leader knows once Escape's gone and you see the Nocturne queue, it's okay, time to get out. I cannot stay under this turret. I will die. They're not going to get it, I don't think, right here, but they did get basically all the plates. The only plate more they could get, I think there's one if you kill the turret too, right?
Yeah, the turret is the 5th plate.
Yeah, there is a 5th plate, so they're probably not going to get all the plates here, but they got most. And now it's a turret race between these two.
Now we have even more plates going around, but this time it's on the side of Blue Bayou Zoo, dropping the Rift Herald. Shelly taking 2 plates in the mid lane, going to go to Dax and Mezuzah alike. Oh my god, we got a fight here in this bot lane. If we want to go back and watch this again, I will definitely love to see what happened here. But Alk Battery cashing out 300 stacks. That is way more than, oh my god, that is way more gold than he needs. He might back and get 2 items. 2 items he's going to recall and grab, especially after he gets this tower. He's going to get the plates. That is an extra 300 gold. Jesus! How much? Oh, 3,350 gold going back with. He is going to purchase the shop and some and come back and give Blue Bayou Zoo exactly what they paid for.
This is what happens when you let a Draven get ahead. We said bottom lane was going to be a priority. That one gank from Rafa gave so much over to them. They've given them so much pressure and put Caitlyn so far behind. Now they just lose the straight up 2v2. This Draven, that was a huge catch. He's got the Essence Reaver, already almost at the Mythic.
I was going to say, he's one component off of a Eclipse, which is going to be extremely scary if you are any member of Blue Bayou Zoo, because I don't know if you got the memo yet, but they don't have a tank. Like, yeah, they have Braum, but he's not going to be as tanky, especially towards the mid game where you need to be tanky against Draven. and Vi's not going to do that at all. Not even with not even with health. So they gotta get on top of this Draven every fight, or it's just going to go entirely out of their favor.
Absolutely, the Draven is the priority. Dax will be able to get to him, but the problem is who follows up with Dax? There isn't any other engage on this team, and Joshi in the bottom side.
War Leader follows up with Dax. With the Braum. That's about all they have, unfortunately.
Yeah, Joshi's gonna be fine, so that's good. Oh, but the engage.
The re-engage from Rafa on top of 2 is going to secure Mezuzah. Joshi is going to secure that, and they're going to back off. Dragon coming up in a $130. They're going to be able to take an Infernal Soul if they keep this tempo up. It's looking pretty good for Rex Regalis so far. No more Rift Heralds, I don't believe, and we have Baron coming up in 4 minutes. So heading into this mid game, let's see how Rex Regalis can use this lead.
Like the call from Rex of, hey, you know, Joshi's getting ganked down here. Let's just go. I mean, he's getting fought down here. Let's just go down there and pick up a kill. Mezuzah staying too long there in the river. They're not giving the respect to Rex's ability to rotate, just how fast a Nocturne can get somewhere with the ultimate. Remember, he's got to be in range to ult, so he can get like halfway there and then end up on the target. So good job to them. Also concerning, but BBZ had 2 members there, and they could not take the Swain already. That's bad. That was before Swain had a kill. That's when Swain was still behind. Swain is about to become a big problem. There's a bit of like anti-heal on the team. There's some on the Vi, but now like, is Vi gonna have to assault and battery Joshi every single top fight? In that case, is Alcabatter just gonna get out of it free because they have to focus on anti-healing? Like it's a bad situation to be in.
If Joshi, or if Dax ults Joshi, he's going to die by Alk Battery before he even picks him up. That's just law when you have a Draven who cashes out like that. I do agree with the Swain 100%. I loved spamming this champion in solo queue when he got reworked, and he's honestly still the same. He hasn't been touched too hard post rework. So it's not too different than the same Swain we saw a couple of months ago, where as soon as he gets his 3 items, he's become this unkillable mage that can not only tank your health bar, but take yours away. So 2 powerhouses so far on Rex Regalis, making them, with an Infernal Drake, is going to make them even more scarier than they already were. Baron coming up in about 2 minutes. They can start making some plays towards that. They have a lot of access into, like, they have a lot of ways to get into this game, and they're ahead. This is the funny part.
Yeah, they're up almost 3,000 gold. It's most of it's on Alk Battery. I think most of that lead is on Alk Battery. This turret gonna go down. They'll be able to spread that gold around a bit, give some of that love over. Joshi gonna pick it up.
Yeah.
And
there is actually a second Rift Herald coming up, and it's coming up in about 10 seconds, actually. So we got a part 2 for Shelly if she wants to come about. We'll see if Rex Regalis wants to pick her up, and it appears that they will be. Second Rift Herald of the game, no plates will be going over, but let's see how they decide to open the map up with this. I'm assuming top lane.
Fun fact, the 2 heralds have different names.
Do they actually?
Yep.
Really?
The first is Shelly, the second is Shirley.
Shirley. Oh, because surely this tower will go down this time?
I don't know if that's actually why they named it. I think it's just a rhyme, but I like to believe. I like to believe that's the reason they decided to name them that.
When Shelly doesn't take down the tower, surely it will this time. But with that being said, I'm actually very happy you said that. That's a very fun fact.
Fun fact. It is Fun Fact Day, everybody. Everyone get some popcorn for participation.
Popcorn for participation. With that being said, we are a minute off of the Baron. No aims at it, it's looking like at the current moment. They're going to be building up a little more. Rex Regalis doesn't feel as strong as they need to be at the current moment, but Draven and Swain, both a kill and 160 CS apiece. Almost at the second item for Swain, and that's the most important one, the Zanya's Hourglass. And Draven on his 3rd item. Doesn't even need the boots yet, which is actually really good because when you build boots early as Draven, it means you're behind.
Yeah.
It's just true.
Yeah, yep. You're just so far that Caitlyn is down 30 CS down the kill gold, down the bounty gold from the stacks of Draven, all that admiration. Yeah, he's. I wouldn't want to get that. Yep. I mean, get the shutdown, but it is going to hurt when he chucks an axe.
Yeah, I'm saying there's not even a shutdown.
Oh, I think you said you got to get the shot.
He's getting out of this one with 300 gold.
Yeah, I'm surprised it hasn't kicked in yet. I mean, he's gotten a pretty big gold lead for himself. That's usually about when it kicks in.
Yeah, not even a 150. Like, huh. You would imagine with a cash out 40 CS lead and a bunch of turrets, but regardless, the Riot Gods have claimed Alk Battery as equal. So, that being said, they're just going to keep it down, pushing mid lane with Smacks and Alk Battery while the others get farmed from the other lanes. They're stalling them out and sort of, I wouldn't say they're doing a good job at taking things away from BBZ. So it's sort of stuck at a stalemate, despite the lead that they have. They're not really choking them out of anything, which is honestly good for BBZ in this case, because they can use this time to get themselves back into the game. This is honestly the most crucial part of the game, because this is where Rex Regalis shines, the mid game. They have a huge Ornn to tank any front line right now. It's 21 minutes and he has over 3k health, which is damn good, especially in this point. So they're looking to, I would assume, start something soon. They could push down lanes. They honestly have a lot over BBZ right now, so the fact that they're not pulling the trigger on anything, not anything, they shouldn't pull it on anything, but the fact that they're not choking them out of anything is good for BBZ.
Yeah, they're just kind of slowly taking the pace. Rex doesn't try to force everything there. After yesterday's lost TD, they don't want to try to get too cheeky with it. They want to get a nice solid win, show everyone, hey, we are a good team. That was yesterday, just a fluke. Yesterday was a fluke. Last week, just a fluke. We're gonna come back into this. We are a strong team. Those 2 losses are just us, finding our footing. And this is, they're doing very well today. Honestly, very, very well with this composition. And
I like it.
There's so much AD on the side of BBZ. The only AP damage is coming out of Mezuzah, and that's not going to be enough to kill Ornn unless you are a like a Teemo or something that can attack fast. You're not going to kill the Ornn with AP. No, you're just not. So it's up to the AD to kill it. But, yeah, and with all that armor and all of that health, like, it's going to force. And though the only armor pen is on the Vi, like, she's going to have to try to be the armor pen for this team, and I just do not think that's going to be effective.
Yeah, no, Swain's a great pick into Ornn. It's a shame, but That being said, Infernal Dragon, 4th drag of the game coming up. They are going to be starting it. Alk Battery and Rafa are going to be duoing it, while the rest of the team keeps them at bay. War Leader might be able to steal this with a Q. Isn't even going to try, though. Is going to take the wards and make on his merry way. Blue Bayou Zoo is still getting, now they're back to choking them out of the objectives that they do get. Major objectives like Dragons and Barons, they've been on top, or Dragons and Heralds in this case. Rex has been on top of it, minus the 1 Herald. But anything else, they haven't really been choking them out. Top tower's still up. Beora has sort of just been freezing top lane the entire game. Hasn't really wanted to take the top tower, which is not required by any means. They have bot and mid, which are great options, especially for the team comp that they have. I think that those are the sides that they should be playing on, which they did. With Baron on the map and no team desiring to take it just yet. But, Geico getting caught on the bot lane. Alk Battery is going to throw out the Whirling Blades. It's going to come back, and that is going to be another cash out for the Draven. And there's the shutdown.
There's the bounties too. They're online. Alk Battery gets even bigger. Becomes that more scary. He's got the Ornn item already, too. Dear God. This is just...
He's got the Ornn item. He now has a shutdown on him. Only now. And, which doesn't matter since he hasn't died anyway. But, Beora taking a lot of damage here from Mezuzah. Mezuzah, good job keeping him at bay, not taking the top tower just yet. Good wave clear. Good way of keeping that up. But Joshi, that's a kryptonite for Mezuzah, and he's going to go recall, and Joshi might just take this top tower, I think. Honestly, he is TPing behind it. Mezuzah really doesn't want to lose this top tower. They're TPing. Yeah, it's a double TP. Double TP. Jace is going to be up here as well. So we have all 4 chilling up here with Vi as well. Alk Battery off to the side, but it's Joshi getting caught so far. Is going to, or Mezuzah is going to get rooted in the back. Popping the Zanyas, Joshi healing back up. Dax is walking out. This is a big fight, ladies and gentlemen. The Zyra is going to come out, though. Dax is going to be taken low. Isn't going to be taken out, though. Alk Battery
watch Alk
taking
Battery.
out Geico. Rafa getting a nice stopwatch as well. War Leader getting out barely. And it is going to be a 2-for-2 or 2-for-1 trade. Only losing Joshi. Only. Well, that's not honest. That's not the worst. That is not the worst. It's actually 1-for-1.
Yeah, 1-for-1, not bad. I mean, good on BBZ and trying to make a play there. I think it's a little aggressive considering Mezuzah had already just used his ult against the Ornn in the fight prior, so it wasn't even up yet. It was a good attempt. I mean, they do get Joshi. They do manage to get some gold on for themselves on the map, but another kill to Alk Battery. It's just feeding the fire at this point. I don't think he needs Lord Doms. I see he's built it. There's not really any tank whatsoever on the side of BBC. I see plated steel caps. I see part of his. I see the arm guard, and I see some items on the Braum. But like, I don't feel like you really need it. This is just gonna make him do true damage at this point, which is, I guess, fine. Just accelerating the kill even faster. Just really wants to set record pace times on this. And
I'm genuinely curious as to why Rex Regalis didn't want to even attempt a Baron there. They only lost Swain. They had Ornn still. I think it was the right call to go for Baron there, but keeping it up isn't the worst thing either. They can go for another one of those fights, hopefully not go 1-for-1 on it, and secure a Baron off of it. I think that if they would have kept doing the Baron, they would have had enough to choke them out, because they kill the Jace. Jace means they have no more poke. They have to worry about Caitlyn and Victor for that now. They already used all of their engage. And honestly, as long as you keep Draven alive, you can do anything. So we'll see if they decide to run it back up there. Go on.
I'll say, as long as he lives, fights are like basically guaranteed. That's all you have to do. Everyone else can die. As long as Alk Battery lives, the fight is won.
Absolutely.
He's just so big. He's up 40 CS right now. He's up I gotta see how much he gets when he backs. Gets the boots, sells the gold. He's almost up 2 items.
He doesn't even want the boots. He's just
he doesn't even want them. He just wants that. He's
2580.
He's up almost 2 items on escape. This has been a rough game for him. Up 4,500 gold. My goodness, Rafa's looking for something here.
He is indeed. Rafa does have the button, is ready to press it. It is not looking like it's going to start anything yet, and it is now, actually, as the ulti from Ornn is not going to be able to go off. Rafa actually got his GA popped in the middle of that Zyra ulti, and Swain ulti coming out is going to pick up Vi. That is going to be a 3-for-0 trade for Rex Regalis, and that is insane for their pace right now. They could honestly do both Dragon and Baron off of that.
Yeah, big fight coming out of Rex right there. This team doing so much work right now. The Draven getting just so much work done. Dax couldn't even go onto him. Could have gone onto the Draven, but there was no one to follow up. Everyone's been engaged on by Rafa. They're all separated and just gets run down and killed in the fight. Then War Leader goes, escape falls, and BBZ, they're just falling so far behind. They're just losing these fights. Mezuzah.
Alk Battery isn't even going to give Mezuzah a chance to fight back before the stun goes through. The second auto dealing almost 1,000 damage, going to take him out. Alk Battery, now he has an Infernal Soul. This is just not fair.
Yeah, he's just nuking people now. Geico trying to poke out Alk Battery. He thinks that he can get him low. There is no lifesteal. That's the one advantage right now for BBZ, is Alk Battery has yet to build a Bloodthirster. Once that's built, I pity the fool who tries to fight him. But until that point, get a little poke. He's gonna have a hard time healing it up. He did sell the Doran's Blade, so that lifesteal's gone.
I think he'll be fine.
Maybe.
I mean, watch me caster curse it, but Baron is still indeed not up, actually. I don't know. Why does it look like it's up? Why did the Baron Can we look at Baron right real quick?
Baron should be
Baron's
up.
up. Baron should be up.
Yeah.
I don't know why the snake wasn't there when it brushed over for a second. That scared me. I'm like, am I wrong? You see? I was like,
it's because we don't have they don't have vision. We're looking at single vision right now.
I saw like that spot of vision and it baited me, and I was like, huh. Anyway, that being said, spectator bugs aside, we have a little bit of a standoff, and Rafa actually going to take a little bit of that Jace poke that you were talking about earlier this game. Is going to be taken to half. Does not have GA to fall back on this fight, so it is going to be a little risky if Rafa pulls the trigger without getting some health back. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Swain is able to push out that bot tower, is going to push it into their base. Now, Rafa pulling the trigger on Vi. Vi going to get knocked up. They're just going to take the blue away from Vi and let her live. Whirling Death coming back, not going to hit anything. Geico getting more poke on Rafa. Rafa still low, not dead. They might just start the Baron on this. Rafa has a plant to get some health back, and this is the real kicker, ladies and gentlemen. If they can get this, this is for sure Rex Regalis' game. However, Blue Bayou Zoo have a chance to make a comeback here. This is their chance. The Zyra ult stops them. War Leader gets knocked up. No entry into the Baron pit. 5 members are going to walk out with a Baron buff, and nothing to say about it.
Yeah, this has been honestly it's frustrating. BBZ just cannot get into the pit. Smacks and Joshi just buy so much space. I won't let them in the river. Just gonna keep them away. And Alt Battery's so far ahead, he just tears through the turret. They do get a turret in response.
They do. That is an extra, I think, what was that? 350 gold for their team? Yes.
Yeah, 350 gold for that. So good for them on killing it. Bounties should fall off minimal. I think bounties only work once, right? Or they keep up. It's they changed the bounty system, and generally I don't see people.
Bounties work depending. I think it's depending on how far behind you are.
Alt Battery is about to kill someone.
If it's like early, almost time to Dax is going to get time to buy smacking him up with the E, or actually the Q out of Zyra. And now Battery is going to be able to push this wave in with 2 big beasts in front of him, actually behind him, which is kind of funny. But nothing to tank the tower just yet. So, that being said, this is the part where I said Blue Bayou's comp is good. They have wave clear. They have exactly what they need to clear this. They just can't get up to the wave right now. Victor is in the picture. That'll make this a hell of a lot more easy. Rafa pressing the button is going to go in on to Geico. Geico is going to be taken very low. Alk Battery is going to be able to pick up the Caitlyn, and that's going to be the trade for that. Geico is taken low by Joshi. Joshi almost barely with the Leandry is able to take him out. Alk Battery going to scoop up War Leader for one last hurrah, and that's going to be Rex Regalis tearing through Blue Bayou Zoo's base, tearing through a few of their members before taking the Nexus. Mazuza is the last one to stand. He will Zanya's. He will be the last standing survivor of Blue Bayou Zoo to tell the tale of how Rex Regalis stole their game.
Yeah, and another rough game coming out.
Unfortunate for Blue Bayou Zoo, as that was an incredible performance from Rex Regalis, showing FOF exactly what they're made of. That's the Rex Regalis that I remembered from Heroic. Welcome back, guys. 2-2. They evened out their standings. They got this. Amazing game. Final thoughts?
I don't know. I'm just kind of disappointed, and I'm not disappointed, but I think BBZ needs to find a new play style, because I honestly, so far in these first 4 games, I've been a little disappointed in Geico. Like, you know, he's their star. He's supposed to be their highest ranked player, their star player, and they keep putting him on these carries. And I have yet, I don't know, I just haven't really seen him do much with them. I want to see them try. I think they need to figure out a different strategy. Maybe try to put Mazuza on something that can roam in the map and get some kills. Maybe an assassin or something.
Pressure. Yeah, something that can carry.
Yeah, something new, because right now it just feels like they're just spinning wheels and nothing is going on.
Right. I do want to see Blue Bayou Zoo make that comeback, and they have exactly what it takes to do it. With that being said, don't go anywhere, because we have an interview with our winners here in just a quick moment. We will see you very soon.
All right, folks, welcome. And I'm double checking here, which is why I'm speaking slowly because it looks like my audio is a little down. And oh my, wait, my audio is okay. It's good. It's good. It's good. Hello, welcome. We switched over from Streamlabs to OBS today, so I'm double triple checking all of my audio. Yes, we are finally here in the 21st century, ditching slobs on OBS, here with the official stuff. I am joined by the very official Alk Battery. How you feeling after the big win?
Oh, dude, finally, after self-imposed Sivir jail, it just feels so great, man. Like, I get to play a chat champion. I was talking about it with Spencer or Ultravox in Twitch chat earlier. It feels good. It feels great to finally pull out the Draven after it was banned.
Finally, the ankle monitor is off, and you're allowed to get it into your hands. So, or get the Sivir out of your hands and get something good and fun into your hands. In this case, it was the Draven. But before we talk about today, the fans want to know, after we watched yesterday's blast from the past game, it turns out that in the end, Rex Regalis did not walk away with the win yesterday in your match against TDE. What are your thoughts? What are your reflections on that match?
Yeah, that game was, for everybody who doesn't know, it was a game we had to reschedule. We both played it all last week, so it was a pre-recorded game. We had a bunch of people who were going to LCS finals, so we had to kind of coordinate in that case. We had lost the week 1 game that we had played, so it was, you know, back-to-back losses. We were kind of excited. Rafa was like, okay, I played the dog champion in game 1, so I feel like we should get an action champion. And something that we've kind of identified is, hey, like, we don't actually have a lot of actionable players on our team. Like, we're just playing for Alk to just, like, scale and be a monster AD carry. So maybe we should try something. And they just I think TD did a really good job. They performed really well. And we specifically, I think, lost to ourselves. Like, TD played well, but if you look at the early game, like, we were smashing bot lane where Adam was getting stomped. Like, he knows what it's like to be a random caster. He got, like, shouted out or whatever. So I had to make sure that it was almost a win. You saw the quadra kill at the end. Wasn't enough. It kind of sucked. It was a blower. Everybody was not very happy about that game. But we were really looking forward. There's a lot of nervous energy, I think, today. Coming back, people hadn't been playing all weekend. We were... all I'm going to say is last week was definitely, I think, an eye-opener for a lot of us.
Well, this game certainly showed that Rex Regalis is able to find their way back into the good graces of the league. This was a bit of a beater on the side of you folks here, but I do want to talk first, before we talk about the game itself with the draft. You say that the team had a little bit of nerves or something along those lines. When you look at the draft here, it's Chad energy up and down. I feel like if I remember correctly, you would know better than me. I remember I think Josh was talking to me about the Swain and that he had liked the Swain, so that's cool for him.
Yeah.
And then Draven Zyra is absolutely a go lane on the bot side. And then Rafa was a madman with the Nocturne. And Biora, Ornn duty. Ornn hub's always good. So talk to me a little bit about the plan here for the draft and what you ended up against.
Well, I mean, we have a dog top laner, so of course Veyara's like, guys, Ornn's looking great here. Like, okay, like, all right, fine. He's like, I'm just gonna shit on this guy. Like, no offense to Geico, but I've now watched like 2 games in a row where this guy absolutely did nothing. So excited to see what BBZ can do at 1-4 later on next week. And bot lane, if you haven't already seen in Trash Talk, Smax is like one of the in terms of Trash Talk, Smax probably beats me because he's actually Diamond, or they're actually Diamond. So like, as soon as they saw like the Braum, they're like, oh, they actually just have nothing. Like, I'm just gonna smash them with Zyra. So we knew this. We said, look, we want to play Draven this week. Like, we need to smash. I've been playing Draven for like the past month and a half since it's been broken. And so we're just, hey man, we have to break it out. We finally, I think it's time. Let's do it. Let's see what we can do with the Swain. And we smashed them. Like, it was a little bit worrisome. Like, I was like, okay, I'm 0-0-0 at 10 minutes. I got like 20 CS lead, but it should be fine. I think we planned really well around this match, and it showed. We smashed that game. It was not even fair. It was not close. We were not worried at all.
There was a little comment in Twitch chat that I'm going to switch up a little bit because Geico was getting very well handled by the so-called dog top laner. And it sounds like Geico is on his way to filling in his Infinity Gauntlet with solo kills from every ranked top laner in the league. So he's collected that second stone here as Biora.
Did he solo kill my top laner? Wait, did he actually?
No, other way.
Okay.
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 Okay. Geico is getting solo killed. I believe that is what I saw in the chat. So
that's based. Wait, that's an incredible stat. Great job. Best top laner in the league, by the way. Holy shit.
Hell yeah. And he does it on Ornn. I mean, just that's so Chad. So let's talk about just what the prognosis is going forward. This game overall, there's not much to say about the content of it other than it looks like Rex Regalis is regaining a little bit of that stability of footing. Whether you can keep it going forward remains to be seen, but what is your feelings fresh out of the locker room, so to speak, from this last game and for Rex Regalis going forward as we continue?
Well, honestly, we finally have the ankle weights off. Like, Josh and Rafa were in LA casting Proving Grounds, like Academy teams playing. Biora, is like doing all his analyst work. Smax is playing Stardew Valley, I think, if I remember correctly, or Life is Strange. So like now the ankle weights are off. Like there's no more events. There's no more like random casting. There's no like going to LCS finals for the weekend. So we get actually 0 practice. It just like, also Smax was also in Chicago, which is fair. But like there's no more, there should be no excuses anymore. At this point, like we should only be ramping up. We have insane bot lane, and my jungler is probably just the best in the tournament. So it really should not be losable from here. The final, like, just really famous last words.
I was literally just about to say, like, well, those are some famous last words if I ever heard them.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it's not rest in peace for REX, and this is the start of Rex Regalis' rise to greatness yet again. Thanks so much, Alk Battery, for stopping by for the desk before we step away. Your opportunity, any final thoughts to leave with us?
I want to thank everybody. Obviously, my boyfriend was doing the obs on this one, so shout out to Kai. Also, real quickly, whoever was on the cast and said I didn't have lifesteal, Syzygy or Eclipse, it has Omnivamp and it has lifesteal on it. So we may just need casters Keck W. Look, from one caster to another, reading items is really broken.
I gotta jump in and defend my boy.
Okay, defend him. Get in there. Come on.
Cast in a while. He has cast.
Okay, all right, fair. All right, fair.
I will shout.
Okay.
Yeah.
Happens. You get one. Everyone gets one.
There you go. Well, Alk Battery, thanks so much for joining us for the interview. Thanks again. Congrats to Rex. We look forward to seeing whether you folks can keep on the straight and narrow with your newfound form yet again. So, folks, that's going to be it for our Game 1 interview. We're going to take a short break. We're back with Game 2 of Mythic Action very shortly.
if you